Karl's excited today.
Because I get to talk about Dragon Ball. Yee. Dragon Ball Evolution was a flaccid, soulless corporate reimagining of a beloved Japanese property. It was mauled critically, flopped harder than a whale having a seizure, and, inexplicably, is kind of responsible for the revival of the entire Dragon Ball franchise.
See, I always know when a film adaptation is bad when I haven't seen the show and I still think it's super shit.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to describe how bad Dragon Ball Evolution is if you're not a fan of Dragon Ball, if you never watched the movie. But like the Saiyan Warriors the original series focuses on, the film somehow managed to transcend the limits of sucking Wang, to attain levels of sucking that we didn't even know existed. Like, it's unbelievably bad. I don't know how they did it. It's almost impressive, isn't it, to make a film that bad?
Yeah, the fact that somebody on that thought it was like one of them must have watched the show.
That's what I always like when you watch a film like that. I always like imagining this cost like £40 million to make. They had hundreds, if not thousands, of people working on it. They had at least 24 people watching the dailies every single day. They had someone in editing, they had a master editor, and they watched this and went, yeah, that I feel okay. I feel that this is an acceptable level of quality to release to the public and charge $12 to go see. So I don't know if anyone else has this power, but Brad, do you have the ability to look at a film months out from when it's been released and go, that's gonna bomb? Because I remember watching like the trailer for like Gods of Egypt and going, that's gonna suck. Like, you immediately went, that film is going to bomb. And it cost like $200 million to make. It's like, and I'm thinking, me, some chuckle fuck on the internet looking at the trailer for the first time go, that sucks. How did nobody in Hollywood go, yeah, this also sucks? Am I the only one with this power? It's like when I saw King Arthur, Legend of the Sword, and I'm like, that's gonna bomb. And what I remember reading about it, it's like, that wasn't the consensus of the filmmakers. You know what they were saying? They were going, oh yeah, we see this movie as being the start of a 7-movie franchise. I'm like, how did you think that other people making the Power Rangers? And they make that and they go, yeah, we're going to get the kids with this one. And they're like, yeah, this is the start of a Power Rangers cinematic universe. And it's got Goldar walking around just looking like a pots and pans robot made out of chrome. Oh, man.
Yeah, I had that with the film Pompeii when I saw that advertised.
You look at it and think, that's going to die.
That's not going to go anywhere.
It's like, yeah, but it's got a shirtless Kit Harington in it. Yeah, but everyone knows the ending.
What are you talking about?
Then again,
don't spoil it for me, man. I haven't seen it.
Then again, like everyone can know the ending of Titanic, and that was okay. Did you know Titanic was originally advertised as an action movie? What? This is true. You can look this up. The original trailers for Titanic put it as like it's a disaster movie, isn't it? It's a movie where this big ass ship starts sinking, and it has a lot of really cool like action scenes in it. Like when the boat's tipping, which is like a real practical effect, you see all the people falling off the boat. But then apparently they realise, oh no, like more people think it's a love story, so they retooled the trailers to make it a love story. Getting back to Dragon Ball, in addition to being cheaply made, badly directed, and incredibly poorly acted, perhaps the film's greatest sin is that it somehow made a series about people getting so angry their screams cause explosions and they can fire bolts of energy out of their hand incredibly boring. All in all, it's one of those films that you watch and just know that nobody making it gave any sort of a shit about the source material. Something we know for sure because the screenwriter of the film formally apologised for writing it in 2016.
It does happen quite a lot though, like the creators of bad movies going back and apologising for them.
Yeah, like Joel Schumacher's the famous one, I'm sure we'll get into that in a second, but in specific regards to Dragon Ball, the screenwriter in 2016 went, yeah, I didn't realise Dragon Ball was like, such a beloved franchise, I was just chasing a paycheck, which is corporate doublespeak for, if I knew nerds on the internet were going to yell at me as much as they did, I might have tried harder to make this a good movie. You think you're being paid as much as those guys are, at least watch one episode.
Yeah.
Just tap in on YouTube, just put in Dragon Ball, awesome. But then again, they'd probably get all the AMVs, wouldn't they? All the animated music videos. And they might find that one, the Vegeta Adams song one, where it's Vegeta crying in the rain as he's about to do the final explosion, apologising to Trunks set to Adams song by Blink-182. You know what? It works. It works.
For some reason, I'm picturing one that's cut together with Evanescence. Wake Me Up Inside.
You're saying that? It exists. It exists out there. They all do.
You mentioned Joel Schumacher there. Let's talk about him.
Yeah, we should probably mention that if people don't know what we were talking about then. Joel Schumacher, the director of Batman and Robin, the George Clooney one with the bat nipples. has formally apologised for that movie at every opportunity he's been given, including on the director's commentary of Batman and Robin. And if you listen to it, Joel Schumacher spends the entire time going, I'm so sorry, this movie's terrible, oh God, what was I thinking? And I believe George Clooney as well has also apologised. And when they asked him, oh, Mr. Clooney, you played Batman. What do you think of Ben Affleck's casting? And he went, I am the least qualified person to comment on Batman. I love that little director's commentaries. If you don't watch them, you can get some gold on them. And Arnold Schwarzenegger is always a diamond on director's commentaries. And the best example I can think of, you can find it, Brad, is the director's commentary for Terminator 3, where Arnold Schwarzenegger comments on the TX, where it gets massive tits. He's like, brilliant! What a great idea! Giant breasts on robots! He loves that idea. So you can find that, put that in. We'll go talk to Maggie about Dragon Ball.
I want to know, but did he say anything in the director's commentary for Batman and Robin? Was Arnold Schwarzenegger on that?
Oh shit, yeah, he was in that, wasn't he?
Because he was in that film.
Oh man, he might have been. I don't know, if he was, put that clip in. I want to know what he thought of his lines in that. We'll kill the dinosaurs. The Ice Age! Yeah! That is some, S-tier Arnold Schwarzenegger hamming it the fuck up in that movie.
The fact that he had to say the line, what killed the dinosaurs, do you reckon they wrote that before and then had to put the dinosaurs in the film?
No, do you know what I think is? I think that some screenwriter somewhere was nursing a chub as they was writing those lines. They were like, these are so fucking good. Because people might not realise this, the whole point of that movie is supposed to be a throwback to Adam West Batman, which is why it's got all the stupid props where he gets out the back credit card. She say, oh, that's not realistic, because but it's a throwback to Adam West Batman where he's always got a gadget on hand, or the Bat ice skates, or the fact that all the stupid puns are supposed to be a throwback to the puns that were made in the original Adam West Batman series, and no one got it.
That doesn't come across well when the previous film in the same franchise have been dark and moody.
And Michael Keaton, Batman, who is a fucking awesome Batman, by the way. Do you know he ad-libbed the line, I'm Batman? Do you know the line where he says, who the fuck are you? And it's like, I'm Batman.
What was he meant to say?
He was supposed to say something like, I'm your worst nightmare. And just think, though, how many times have you heard the line, I'm Batman?
Well, it's a meme now.
It's one of Batman's most famous quotes. And it was Michael Keaton forgot his line. It's like, he's supposed to be, I'm your worst nightmare, cream. He's like, I'm Batman. Now it's the best thing. Go Michael Keaton. But you know what? There also needs to be a quote. I'll put on my back credit card. Because that thing's awesome.
We can't talk too much about Batman, though, for reasons.
Oh, yeah. It's not like we're doing a Batman video straight after this.
Yeah, no.
Look forward to that Wednesday. Along with being savaged by critics and fans of the original series, Dragon Ball Evolution also earned the ire of the original creator of the Dragon Ball franchise, Akira Toriyama, mostly because nobody involved with the movie would listen to any of his suggestions.
So this is the guy who literally created Dragon Ball?
Yes, it is.
And presumably, if they wanted to make a film, the studio had to pay him for the rights to it.
Yes, they did. Quite a lot of money, reportedly.
And they didn't want his help?
No, they didn't want his input at all. According to a 2015 interview with Toriyama, when he went into the studio to give some advice and help them, here's what I'd do if I was making a Dragon Ball movie. They were like, oh no, we don't need your help, Mr. Toriyama. And they actively ignored every suggestion he made, to the point where he said he was quite disappointed in the final product and wouldn't even call it Dragon Ball. That's how bad this was. The guy who invented Dragon Ball's like, that's not Dragon Ball. I can't imagine how soul-crushing that would be, especially when Toriyama noted that, in addition to ignoring all of his suggestions, the general consensus he got from people working on the movie is that they didn't want him there because they thought they could do it better than him. It's like, oh... The best thing is, so let's give the people making the movie a chance and just... for comparison's sake, just put in the Kamehameha from the live-action movie and then splice that with a Kamehameha from any of the shows in the Dragon Ball series. And let's just see how much better they did than the guy who fucking invented it.
It is quite common for the original creator of something to want input on an adaptation, and everyone just says no.
Yeah, we should mention that. There were a lot of times in the past where people who wrote books that get turned into movies try and have input on the final product and get told no, which is understandable because there are things that happen in books that don't translate very easily to the big screen. In this case, they're translating an anime and a manga to a live-action movie. And there are things you can put in the previous two that you can't put into a live-action film. At the same time, don't tell the guy who invented it to go away. At the very least, you want him to be happy with the final product, because by all accounts, Toriyama wasn't, and he was reported saying, it's not Dragon Ball. And that's not a quote you want floating around when you're trying to promote this fucking thing, is it? Just at the very least, like, placate the guy and keep him sweet. And I just feel so bad for him.
It's not Dragon Ball reminds me of That's Not Godzilla.
Yeah,
it doesn't
that's
have
not Godzilla.
Spirit.
It doesn't have Godzilla's spirit, which you mentioned the thing, where it's one of the guys who played Godzilla watched the 1998 Godzilla movie and went, that's not Godzilla. And Toho agreed and blew it up.
Yeah.
See our previous video where we talk about that. Man, that's the worst bit, innit? The longer we go on, the more chance we're going to mention stuff we already mentioned that I have to become that guy.
Well, there's a lot of... I've noticed, like, we occasionally do mention things we've already mentioned before.
I know, I'm really sorry about that, guys. And I'm really sorry about this bit as well. If Brad doesn't cut it.
I might leave it in.
Okay.
I don't know.
Let's just put in like a 5-second clip of us just like chilling. I'll check my phone actually. There we go. Let's have a look. Oh, my mum's texted me.
She always seems to text you during filming. We usually cut that bit out, though.
Yeah. She says hi. You know, I kind of agree with Toriyama as well that the film isn't Dragon Ball, because like the people who made the movie didn't even go as far as to spell check the fucking title, because Dragon Ball's one word in Dragon Ball Evolution, but in every other piece of Dragon Ball related media it's 2 fucking words, because the Dragon Balls are an item. They are called the Dragon Balls, you fucking idiots. How do you make, that's amateur hour, man. Get the guys who made Dragon Ball Evolution who I know are watching. Shit.
I just love a comment now from one of the people who made it.
My bad.
I'm sorry.
Oh, right. Here's the thing though, rather than like being all kinds of bummed out about like, you know, his beloved franchise and the thing he worked on for several decades being shat all over by Hollywood, Toriyama got pissed.
So you said he got pissed, but
Yes.
just how pissed did he get?
So pissed that prior to the release of Dragon Ball Evolution, like Toriyama had gone on record as saying, I'm done with Dragon Ball, I don't want to make any more, I don't want to write any more of these stories, I'm putting it behind me. After the release of Dragon Ball Evolution, he was so annoyed by the stain like that shit tier movie had left on the legacy of the franchise he created. He was like, no, fuck this, I'm going to come out of retirement and write one more Dragon Ball story, Dragon Ball Z Battle of Gods.
I'm finding it hard to actually picture in my head how pissed Toriyama must have actually been.
Yeah, I think the situation calls for one of your trademark edits. So, for my amusement, Brad, and the amusement of the audience at home, can you take that scene from the movie with Broly, where Broly, or Swoley as I like to call him, gets so angry that he just fucking double lariats Vegeta into a wall and explodes, but put Akira Toriyama's face on Broly and the face of the guy who played Goku in the movie on Vegeta's. Because that scene's the best.
That is actually how I was picturing Toriyama.
Just him like getting so angry that he just ascends and becomes super swole.
So what I was imagining was he was watching Dragon Ball Evolution and then he suddenly gets so angry his hair changes colour.
Like a Super Saiyan.
Muscular, and then the script for the new one, the new story appears in front of him. He just materialises it out of anger.
He just gets so goddamn angry, he just ascends to Super Saiyan 2 immediately.
Just rises out of the city he's in and starts screaming.
He
at
ascends to that
Hollywood.
level of Super Saiyan where you get insanely buff like that. That one.
He just stays like that forever. No. He turns up at the next interview and he's just buff as fuck. I finished my next story.
Man, Broly's laugh's the best in that movie. I fucking love Broly's laugh.
I'll put in Broly's
Broly's laugh. Put in Japanese Broly's laugh though. Japanese Broly's laugh's the best. He's like, so good. You can tell it's like an old woman doing it as well. It's great.
Favourite laugh in media? Go.
No, Frieza's laugh.
Frieza's laugh.
Frieza's laugh in the Japanese is like, it's so shit. I kind of love it. Like, I had to watch it in Japanese, so I wanted to watch all of Super as it came out. So I was watching, and I fell in love with Frieza. I fell in love with just the death screams of Frieza. You know what? Fuck it, we put it in. Spoilers for Dragon Ball Super and the Tournament of Power. Goku wins. They do.
My God.
They have the greatest scream I have ever heard in me. Like, Dragon Ball is full of some fucking amazing screams. It's like top 10 screams in anime, it's just all Dragon Ball. And obviously the first has to be like Gohan going to Super Saiyan 2 for the first time when Android 16 dies, put in the clip. But I think a strong contender from Super is where Goku and Frieza are beating the piss out of Jiren, and Frieza goes, Goku, we need to beat him. Throw me. So Goku throws Frieza, and Frieza's the only thing I've ever seen someone do the smart way. He does the you didn't win. He does the Ganon. He tries to do the Ganondorf finish on Jiren, where he grabs him and dives off the stage. He tries to do the Donkey Kong Smash Bros. Dick move, and he just screams the entire time. And then Goku, out of nowhere, flies and just headbutts him. While screaming so hard, he turns Super Saiyan without realising it. Oh, man. There are so many good screams in Dragon Ball. I'm a big fan, as well, of fucking Lord Beerus' scream. The scream where he gets so pissed off, he just fires energy bolts in every direction. Oh, my God, that's amazing. As you may or may not know, depending on how big of a franchise you are, Dragon Ball Z Battle of Gods did quite well at the box office, and it inspired Toriyama to write another story, this time Dragon Ball Z Resurrection of F, which in turn inspired him to write even more Dragon Ball, leading to the creation of Dragon Ball Super.
So wait, Toriyama got so pissed at Dragon Ball Evolution that not only did he write 2 more movies, but he resurrected the original series.
18 years after it finished and made like 180 more episodes. And I think it's still going. So I don't think he's as an active role as he used to do in it, but he's still writing more. And all because he hated Dragon Ball Evolution that fucking much. So thanks, Dragon Ball Evolution, because I got like 200 more episodes of Dragon Ball out of it. And they're bringing Broly back! Broly's canon now! Thanks, dipshits!
So I'm assuming we're just going to continue to talk about Dragon Ball.
Yes, we are.
Yeah,
as is my way.
I've come across you in your Dragon Ball moods before.
That's my Nintendo.
I think all of my knowledge of the series is from you. It's either you telling me or me having to look up the clips.
The best bit is, if people watch these videos a lot, you might notice I make a lot of references to Dragon Ball and various cartoons and anime that I watched, and Brad doesn't know what they are, so he has to look them up.
That's part of my fact-checking stage.
Yeah, the thing is, though, sometimes, isn't the one that I got past you and you didn't know what it was? So I think I mentioned Stans, and you didn't know what it was.
I still know that.
It's from JoJo. I remember all the comments going, wow, Karl made a JoJo reference. Like, yeah, I got you guys. And Brad didn't know what it was, and I was really upset there wasn't a clip in there. But you know what? While I'm teaching him, guys, I'm teaching him.
There's a few of them that you make, though. Like, the Kurosawa is the most common one.
No, because that's just the thing based on my dad.
Right.
People want to know it, because I might something like, oh, the legendary, like, what the legendary...
It was the 5-way slap of Kurosawa.
Yeah, the 5-way slap of Kurosawa, or the Sei Wataneo stomp.
Yeah.
The Sei Wataneo stomp comes from the mispronunciation of that place in Shawshank Redemption. Joey goes, oh, where'd you go? Oh, it's Sei Wataneo. I remember I was playing just Smash Bros once, and I wanted to say something as I dunked somebody with Ganondorf. So I was called the Sei Wataneo stomp. So it cracked me up. And the slap of Kurosawa comes from my dad when he learnt a 10-hit combo in Tekken and called it the Wazugi Yugi move. So whenever he used to do the 10-hit combo, go, oh, Wazugi Yugi, yeah! And runs across his controller, and I thought it was a legit move, so I started doing that whenever I beat people, and that devolved into the Kurosawa, the legendary slap of Kurosawa. Oh, man.
But Dragon Ball.
Oh, yeah, Dragon Ball, yeah.
So who's your favourite of the, like, say, the newest characters?
The ones that are introduced? Oh, it's Beerus the Destroyer. I love Beerus so much. He's the dumbest idea for a character. He's just this cat who loves eating and sleeping, but he also destroys planets.
I've seen him. He was in Dragon Ball Resurrection F, and I had to get clips out of that.
He don't give a fuck. He's just...
I just wonder why he was there.
But my favourite thing is that in Dragon Ball FighterZ, the game, he's the worst character in it, so I'm like, I've got to play him. And like, he's so shit in that game, but whenever he gets his shit beaten, his quote when he dies is, I'm tired now, I'm going to sleep. You know what, I respect that. Lord Beerus never gets beaten, he just gets tired of fighting. That's the character you want to play as. So technically I've never lost a game. Because obviously, it's just Beerus just gives up, he's not fighting anymore.
Yeah. He's too powerful for this, he doesn't need to deal with it.
So I just love the idea though, like, in Dragon Ball Z Battle of Gods, the fight scene between Goku is just so fucking hilarious because there's just a bit where he just screams, he's pissed off. Just like, fuck this. He starts a fight over a pudding cup. Majin Buu eats a pudding cup and like Beerus is like, give me that pudding, I want pudding. And just punches Majin Buu across the planet. And in Fighter Z, if you make Beerus fight Majin Buu, the entire reason they fight is over that pudding cup. Because Beerus says, I still haven't forgotten that pudding cup you stole from me, Majin Buu. And that's why they're fighting.
Hashtag goals.
I'm going to destroy this planet because someone stole my dessert. That's big dick energy right there. And if we're mentioning Lord Beerus, we've got to mention, because I want to bring this up, there's a fucking phenomenal combo video out there some guy did of Lord Beerus that I watched and immediately started playing the character, where he said, oh, everyone's like shits on Beerus for being really shit. Because he's terrible, his moves are awful, he's not got very good combo potential. Here's how you play him. And I saw that and it's set to the Dragon Ball Z Battle of Gods soundtrack and it's fucking brilliant. So I'd like to give a big shout out to that guy for making me play Lord Beerus and for absolutely tanking my win ratio online because I can't play him as good as he does. Thanks, dude.